Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Well, today's Saturday again. I'm here on a Saturday. One of the things I wanted to field for a question that I got was, how much time do you spend in the greenhouse, and really what are you doing in the greenhouse? Yeah, that's an honest question for a lot of people. So some people think I come to the greenhouse just to kind of sit and relax. No, 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 no. We come to the greenhouse to work. So when I come up in on a weekend, I am working. When I'm here till 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30 at night, after a full day at school, I'm here in the greenhouse working. So those of you that have an ag teacher that runs a greenhouse, especially, one this size, what you might not realize is when it comes to greenhouse season and growing season, the greenhouse becomes a second job. So this is what I do when I'm not teaching. I start working on this. So yeah, it means many times I'm not getting home till 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night because I have work that needs to get done in the greenhouse. Right now, this time of year, luckily we were blessed with an overcast day. I've posted videos about how the greenhouse gets up to 100, 115, 110, 120 degrees. When we have days like that, we have to make sure that our plants have water. Just like people in hot weather, if you don't have water, you die. If they don't have water, they die. And it's not just whether or not they die, it's if they get too dried out. I think we got one back here. Let's get back here. It's back here somewhere. It's over there. This was one that was forgotten on the watering. So when I found this one earlier this week, obviously this basket had been watered, this basket had been watered, and this one got skipped. So in the whole line of plants, and there's a lot of them there, this one was missed, and it was really, really dry. It won't necessarily kill the basket, but it will cause tissue damage. So some of that tissue is not going to survive. You can kind of see that this has tissue damage. Now, luckily, it's far enough back in the plant that a lot of this is going to be covered up with new foliage by the time we get to our sales season. But baskets like that, just because you don't lose them and they don't completely die, doesn't mean I'm not going to cull it later on, because we only sell quality product. So kind of because of that reason, I really need to make sure that my baskets get the care. And just like if you have farm animals, the farm animals get to eat first. Around here, my baskets come first as far as my time, because this is a responsibility that I've taken on for my program and for my students, that they do the care during the week, and then after school on the weekends, I come in and I fill in all of the rest of the care that needs to be done. There are a whole host of things we could have done to make this go quicker. But if you're wondering, back to the question of what do I do all the time, this greenhouse takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to water. So that's with a hand wand. And I've taken the end off of it to make it a bit more efficient. And we're going to clean this up in a little bit. I've got a bunch of debris that has worked into my nozzle, so I got to get that done. And that is where a gas welding tip cleaner is coming in handy, and a screwdriver. So I'm going to clean that up. But I'll do that when our fertilizer bin is refilling. So we've got about 75 gallons left in it. And that, I'm going to water a little bit more, probably get it down to 50, and then I've got to fill it all the way back up to 225, and there's about 140, 150 foot run of hose, so it takes like 20 minutes to a half hour just to wait for that to fill, and I have to do other things while that's filling, because I can't water while I'm working on my fertilizer. So that's my pre-mix fertilizer. So yeah, it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to do a proper watering job in this greenhouse. And this is only a 2,750 square foot house. But that's a lot of time. And that pretty much has to be done from here on out. That's done every day. So that's 2 hours to 2.5 hours of my time every day, which is outside of class time, that I have to do the watering. Now, if you're looking at here, you're like, gosh, well, that's, you can just take the wand and wave it over. Each of these baskets is gonna take about a half gallon of water right now. So I kind of sped it up because I was using this nozzle till it got plugged, and then I was like, gosh, Matt, you don't need the spray nozzle. Just take the end off, but I need the valve to turn it on and off. So with this nozzle, I was counting to about 20, and that was giving me the right amount of water. That one I can count to about 15. But in here, there are 350 baskets that I need to work on. I know I had the ugly plants in the background. Those are my stock plants. Those are the ones I'm still trimming up, so don't worry about those. But yeah, there's over 350 baskets in here. So, you know, even at 30 seconds a basket, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. And 30 seconds would be like from moving one pot to the other pot, one part to the other pot, draining the hose or dragging the hose down here, dragging the hose back there. So it takes definitely over 2 hours to water this whole greenhouse. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. But you know, it's part of the nursery business. You have to make sure that your plants stay healthy and that they stay good. Now, let's go back to how do I know that 20 seconds with one nozzle is good and 15 seconds with the other nozzle is good? Well, let's go here where we can kind of see that. All right. So this is how I know that I have watered my baskets correctly. I'm not wasting water. You can see I've got water dripping through. With this, there is a single hole in the bottom of this pot, and we are watering with a fertilizer water right now. I've lowered the parts per million down a little bit to try to get more blossoms to form. So these are the blossoms right here. That's about 3 weeks away from opening there. That one's a little bit sooner. But I've lowered the fertilizer down a little bit to push more foliage on those. But the way I know that I've got enough is it runs out the bottom of the pot. And I want it to run out of the bottom of the pot for a few minutes. Because we're pushing fertilizer in these, I want to make sure that as that water goes through, it's carrying any excess salts out of the basket and down onto my hardscape surface here. So it's flushing out any excess salts, and it's making sure that they don't build up in the pot and then become toxic. So if I watered just enough that I moistened the soil but it didn't run out of the bottom, after, you know, a couple of weeks of doing that, the basket is going to start to struggle because it's going to get toxicity from all the salts that have built up in there. So we want to make sure when we're watering, we do flush all of our containers. So we're not flushing it completely out. We're just making sure water is moving through so we don't get a salt buildup. So, and thus doing so and making sure that I'm putting enough water in there, it adds time. It adds a lot of time. Now, there are things that I could do to make this go quicker. If I had leader tubes, which is an overhead pipe that would run over the basket, and then there'd be an individual little tube that comes down to every basket, I could water a strip of plants in probably about 5 to 8 minutes for about 45 to 50 baskets. Unfortunately, with our watering system, we're not able to do that. We don't have a dedicated watering system to the greenhouse, which is why I'm using the bulk storage bin and the premixed fertilizer in there, because you know that's not available for us today. And because of that, I can't put a fertilizer proportioner on there, which then would feed into the drip tubes. Instead, I'm using a hand wand and an electric pump to pump out of my premix tank. So yeah, that's what it is. So if you're wondering what takes your most time in a greenhouse, it's definitely watering. Out of any bit of greenhouse work that you do, watering is going to be the most time. So pest management, potting, soil, other care, those are fractions of your time compared to watering, because watering, especially late in the season, is done every single day. So yeah, tomorrow's Sunday. I'll be up here again tomorrow, watering all my baskets and watering all my 4-inch containers. And the 4-inch containers are the reason I have to come here every single day. The baskets, if it doesn't get too hot in the greenhouse, it could go probably a day without water. But I'm trying to get everything even with the same moisture content in each basket, just because I had other people watering for me and it wasn't as even as I needed. But the 4-inch are definitely going to need water tomorrow, so I'll have to come up and do that. Also got to open the greenhouse. Been told the vents will be worked on sometime this weekend. That will allow me time to not have to come in here if those vents can open and close on their own, so the greenhouse doesn't get too hot. We're kind of a nice temperature right now, just above 80. So yeah, 82. It's not bad. It's a little bit humid. But there you go. There's that answer of what in the world does Ag Teacher Thoughts do in the greenhouse every day. Why is he up here 7 days a week? Why is he staying hours after school? Yes, there is a single solitary chair there. That's not for me to sit on. Something was a little high for me to reach the other day, and so I brought it in to get a little bit of a boost. I'm short and the greenhouse is tall. But yeah, no, this is all working in here. Anyway, I thought I'd give you an update on that and kind of explain where my time goes when I'm here in the greenhouse. And I think I'll water about another 25 gallons, and then I will go ahead and fill that tank. And while I'm filling that tank, I'm going to clean out my mist nozzle, or my spray nozzle, because I'm going to need that to water all the 4-inch material. I don't want to use this half-inch opening here when I'm doing the 4-inch pots, because I just need to water more of the surface and give it a little bit more time to soak in. But anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope you understand a little bit more about what I do here on the weekends and what I do after school. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.